Hello, my fellow creators, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I wanted to share some of the cards that I made for the Cards for Cub card drive. So I thought I'd just pop on here real quick and do that today. Now, to make my cards, I did use this Happy Cake Day paper pad by Recollections. And I didn't quite finish the paper pad, but I think since I have so much paper left, I'm going to increase my pledge. I originally pledged 150 birthday cards and 150 encouragement cards. So I've completed my original pledge of birthday cards, but given how much paper I have left, I think I'm going to double my pledge and make some more. But for now, let me share the ones that I did make. As you might be able to tell from watching my videos, I love to use card sketches. And sketches are especially helpful when I'm making big batches of cards. So I went through my binder with sheetload of card sketches and pulled out a few for making my set of birthday cards. Now I will link to Call Me Crafty Al's channel in the description box below so that you too can download her wonderful sketches. Now the first sketch I used was from December of 2019. And I chose that one because it had this tag as part of the sketch. And one of the papers in the paper pad had tags, and I wanted to be able to use those. So as you can see, these have tags. And I actually made 15 cards. I made the original 12 that are on the sketch, plus a few extras with the scraps of paper. So here are my 15 cards using the December 2019 sheetload of card sketch. And I did grab some ribbon for my stash and add that to the top of each of the tags. Now, as you can see on these 3 cards, which were my additional 3, I used the scraps. And on these 2, I used that larger piece and that smaller piece. And then I covered up the seam with some ribbon. And then on this one, I colored the white ribbon with a yellow Copic marker. The next sketch I used was the July 2022 sketch. And here are the cards I made using that sketch. And I did make the 12 cards that is yielded by that sketch. Now, to cut out my stitch circle and the yellow circle mat, I used my Gina K Designs Master Layouts 3 dies. And then for the sentiments, I used this sentiment from MFT's Birthday Greetings stamp set. And it simply says, "The more candles, the bigger the wish." And then on the inside of the cards, I did use up some of the scraps to tie the front and the inside together. The next sketch I used was the August 2022 sketch. And I did make the 12 that are yielded by that sketch. And I used another sentiment from that MFT Birthday Greetings stamp set. And then for those additional little stars and confetti, I used the Hero Arts Cheeky Birthdays stamp set. So there are my 12 completed cards using the August 2022 sheetload of card sketch. The next sketch I used was the October 2022 sketch. And this sketch was a special edition sketch to use your 6x6 paper. But because I used that 12 by 12 paper, I simply cut those sheets down to 6 by 6 pieces, which meant that the yield of 9 cards was actually quadrupled. So I made 36 cards using this sketch. And here they are. And again, for this sentiment, I used MFT's Birthday Greetings stamp set. And I forgot to mention earlier, but the ink pads I used for the sentiments were just some Gina K Designs ink pads, and I pulled in different colors that would coordinate with the cardstocks I used for the matte layers on each of the cards. And there are my 36 cards using the October 2022 Sheetload of Cards sketch. Then, since I had so much fun using this month's Sheetload of Cards sketch, I decided to use that again with one slight adjustment. I saw a fellow collaborator team member make an adjustment to the sketch, and instead of cutting those 3 pieces on the top, she made it one piece. And so that piece then measured 4.75 inches wide by 2 inches high. So that's what I did with these cards. And this also was a special edition using 6x6 paper. So I did the same thing and simply cut my 12x12 paper down to 6x6 pieces and used that sketch. And because that sketch yielded 8 cards, I did quadruple it and make 32 cards. And for this sentiment, I pulled in this Simon Says stamp Party Like a Panda stamp set. And then for the little flowers I added, I pulled in this Rockabye Baby stamp set by Dare to Be Artsy. And then what I did on those was just heat emboss them using some of Simon Says Stamp's fine detail white embossing powder. Now, this last few cards, I didn't follow the sketch. I kind of went off on my own. And the reason for that is because the pattern paper that I chose with the llama on it was one of those pieces of paper that didn't have a design throughout the paper. It had the llama and balloons on the bottom corner, and it had some banners across the top. And then I got a little bit of the image on that, but the rest were going to be just the plain pink. And I didn't really like the way it looked with the plain pink on the larger piece of paper. I was fine on the smaller piece of paper on the sketch, but I didn't like it as the larger piece on the sketch. So I went ahead and cut down that pink paper along with the extra pieces of pattern paper and made these designs, which I think still turned out wonderfully. And I still managed to get my 32 cards using the March 2023 Sheetload of Cards sketch. Now, I know that totals less than 150 cards, so I wanted to get to my original pledge of 150 and remembered I had birthday cards in my stash. So I pulled those out and came to realize these cards were from the same paper pad. And on these cards, I used the cut-aparts that were on one of the sheets in that paper pad. So with the addition of these cards and a few more from my stash, I did manage to get the 150 cards that I originally pledged. I'll be sure to add a link in the description box below to the Cards for Cubs website so that you can take a look at the information, the guidelines, and perhaps you can also send some cards for this wonderful cause. Thanks for sticking around to the end. I'd be thrilled if you subscribed to my YouTube channel or followed me on any of my other social media platforms. As always, have a beautiful, safe, and creative day. Thanks for watching. Bye.